Hi all and welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new, I welcome you all. I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health awareness and sharing my life stories with you guys, as well as tips along the way. In saying this, also, as you are aware, that I'm doing right now the drug awareness series, which I'm hoping to bring out some education and advocate for you guys based on mental health versus everything else. So if you're into any of these, smash the like or smash the subscribe button, and also in saying this, if you want to join me on the bandwagon for any of these future videos and turn on the notification bell for future videos like these, as well as future. So right now, as you are aware, I'm doing the drug types a bit more in depth before I get into some of the classic common ones that are in those drug types to be aware, so that we can spread awareness and understanding and saying this, that if you feel that you know of someone that are showing any of these signs and symptoms, just, you know, tread with caution with those people also, because it's all about the timely manner and how we go about approaching these people. So that's why I kindly shared with you all some of the tips briefly in my very first video, which I'll link in the description as well as in the iCard above me, of how you can go about approaching your loved one that you're concerned about that is drug abusing or drug dependent on that form of drug. So this is number 4, I think, from memory, or 5, one of the two of these drug types that I'm bringing out to you today, and this one's based on hallucinogens. Natural hallucinogens are a derivative or can be derived from fungus. They have chemical properties that alters our perception of the world, hence, you know, the word hallucinogens. We tend to go in a high state of hallucinating, thinking that we are in reality when we're not in reality as such, because obviously, you know, it's taking us on a high to an extent that, you know, we just get our vision, our hearing and all that distorted from these form of drugs, as well as the smell and taste and all these other 5 classic senses that comes into play. The most common brain chemicals, however, are affected for these drugs are your serotonin and your acetylcholine, which is responsible for your behaviors, perception and the body's regulatory systems, such as your mood, hunger, body temperature, sexual behaviors and muscle control. Hallucinogens are rapidly absorbed in the gastrointestinal tract through the mucous membranes, or can be injected directly into the veins. Some can even be inhaled. Hallucinogens may cause you to hear or see things that doesn't formally exist. So obviously you're in a fantasy world, you could say. It's like, oh, look at the stars, look at the moon sort of effect. You get the gif there. Or imagine situations that ain't forever real, so that you think that you may be in a place or in a situation that has involved you to do certain scary stuff. Hallucinogenic drugs include your psilocybin, which is found in magic mushrooms, lysergic acid diethylamide, or the classic abbreviated term is your LSD, peyote and DMT. As I mentioned, is your LSD, peyote, PCP, or it's known as angel dust, your magic mushrooms, mescaline, ecstasy, dextromethorphan, marijuana, ketamine. Body, basically the lysergic acid diethylamide, or in this case LSD, is usually swallowed. The effects of the body takes around 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Yet it can peak in at least 3 to 5 hours, but then it will vary from person to person depending on other factors that I mentioned in the first video, be it your, you know, age, your weight, how much you've been taking, you know, and other things, common side effects that may range from all these. The effect can usually last up to also 9 hours, or even in some cases when you're taking these hardcore drugs of hallucinogens, up to 24 hours. To look out for, or just for the person in general that just takes them, you know, is your moods will tend to change, your physical size, health, gender, previous experience with hallucinogens or any other drug types, the amount of drugs you've used, the purity of it, and the way and how it was taken. To look out for are your flashbacks, which is a spontaneous and unpredictable recurrence of poor drug use or experience of, you know, the term tripping without taking the drug, increased risk of developing severe mental disturbances, tolerance, impaired memory and concentration, might become sluggish, psychological dependence. Look out for and risks are your dilution of pupils, increase in body temperature and you're becoming to sweat, increased heart rate and blood pressure. You become nauseated, you'll start vomiting, dizziness, seeing things in a disorientated way, hence the name of the drug, impaired coordination and tremors, varying of emotions. You may become, you know, angry 1 minute and then you get confused and whatnot. Tension and anxiety that will then tend to lead to panic attacks or anxiety attacks, distorted sense of space and body, so you feel like maybe your body's just left you, so you're in another dimension. Distorted sense of time, minutes can seem like hours and whatnot. Well, as I've mentioned briefly, is flashbacks, muscle spasms, loss of coordination, aggressive, hostile or violent behaviour, zombie-like states. So you might be starting to, you know, become a zombie. You're starting to, you know, with the withdrawal, start to salivate, you know, high blood pressure, rapid heart rate, fear of going insane, depression, frank psychosis, hypothermia, diarrhea, permanent post-hallucinogenic perpetual disturbance, long-term psychosis. As follows is, while there is no specific protocol for hallucinogens, there are medications that can calm the body down and mind during this withdrawal stage, and then in saying this, if necessary, handle any psychological shifts caused by the absence of the drug. Other addiction treatment therapies will be maybe necessary for that individual or addict to learn to live without using these drugs for mind-altering recreational reasons. Most hallucinogenic addicts use other drugs as well and may need to be treated for addiction to other substances. And in saying this, you know, besides the behaviour therapy and everything else that's entailed, you can go to support groups of AA with the person if they do decide to, you know, want to keep clean and sober from the drugs that they're using, be it if it's these ones or other ones. Need to be patient, obviously, when it comes down to approaching them in a way of the right way also, and saying to them, you know, you love them and you care for them, and you know, it's just a matter of timing as well as finding the right way of doing it. And in saying this, basically, as always, if any of you are watching and you are basically sober from these form of drugs, of any drug types I'm mentioning, or just the classic ones of these classes that I'm bringing next after these series of the drug types, let us know how you go about it and that, because like I said, I'm putting forward for discussion. And saying this, if you're brave enough, hopefully for the others that are watching or reading the comments and you're participating, be, you know, civil and polite to the ones that are brave enough to share their stories. So without further ado, guys, don't forget also, as I said, at this point of time, that I've got an online store for anyone of you who's interested in maybe seeing what it's all about. It's in the description below, as well as saying this, that if you do decide to visit my store, get 15% off your purchase only for this month only. So hopefully this will help me in a way of funding for extra bits and pieces for future projects that I'm hoping to get in the work. So with that, you guys, thanks for your support. Don't forget to share these videos around. Like the video if you did. Comment below as shared. Feel free to share these videos around to family and friends. With that, guys, thanks again for the ongoing continuation of your support, and hopefully in saying this will continue for some of these future projects that's in the works. So I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.